BRICS adopts Bitcoin, BRICS wins. Learn Russian. It checks all the boxes for them, man. So I don't know why they haven't. They're already settling energy contracts in Bitcoin. If you're BRICS, adopt Bitcoin today, you win.
What are you thinking over there?
No, you're right. No, I think he's right. I mean, long term, I think it dissolves nation states. Like all these power structures that we think are indivisible will quickly prove to be divisible in a Bitcoin world. But short run, yes, I agree. Whoever adopts Bitcoin first will win. And BRIC countries have already talked about doing the gold-backed currency. So they just haven't, their Overton window hasn't shifted far enough to understand that Bitcoin is better than gold-backed currency.
They haven't discovered Safedin yet.
They haven't read the Bitcoin.
It's about 150 pages and boom, you're no going back.
Yeah, it takes collectives longer, right, to absorb these ideas than it does individuals. That's why you just have all these highly disagreeable autodidact Bitcoiners figuring it out first.
That's me right there.
But for a nation state, it's going to take decades longer.
So I think about the current administration in the States and like Lowry, for example. He's quiet. He's in there somewhere talking with people. The game theory is real. In the United States, or any first mover has a huge advantage. And as much as we like to shit on Trump and the whole administration or the government in general, I believe that there are people within the administration who understand exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I do too.
Which makes me feel better about the success of Bitcoin and the rate in which it proliferates.
Yes, but there's a big, big problem. How are you going to get support for that? So what Cynthia Lummis proposed on paper looks great. Let's print a bunch of money. Let's buy 1 million Bitcoin. And actually the numbers don't add up to what she says. And she doesn't even understand. She's talking about the Fed doing this instead of the Treasury anyway. How can the issuer of the global reserve currency then betray what has allowed it to control the world through coercion and violence, give that up for a better money and signal their own demise?
Well, wouldn't it just be the Treasury strategy? Hey, we're going to add this other new innovative thing to the balance sheet. And that's where I think what Saylor's done. Saylor's tune has seemed to change over the last few years. And I feel like if he's benevolent, which I believe he is, you kind of have to be quiet while you're in the Trojan horse, you know? And like, you can't attack the dollar. It's not Bitcoin or the dollar, at least currently. It's Bitcoin and the dollar, and we're better off with Bitcoin and the dollar versus the dollar and no Bitcoin.
Well, that actually is a good example because that highlights the same ignorance I was just talking about with nation states. It's like Saylor can go on podcasts and talk about it's Bitcoin versus gold, not Bitcoin versus the dollar.
Right.
While simultaneously doing the largest speculative attack on the US dollar in the history of the human race. Because people are stupid, not stupid. They just don't understand what that is. They don't understand if you're borrowing fiat to buy Bitcoin, that is damaging the dollar.
Is he attacking the dollar or is he strengthening the dollar?
It's by definition a speculative attack on the US dollar.
If you have a monetary system that has to debase to stay solvent.
No, there's no way around it. It is a speculative attack on the US dollar. You're borrowing the weaker money and buying the hard money. It's Gresham's law. So it's demonetizing the dollar and monetizing Bitcoin. There's no, like, I've heard this spiel from you before. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
like,
it's okay.
It's like, look it up. Speculative attack. Look it up. It is by definition exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, above my pay grade. Just the dude. But
it's not, no, it's not that complicated, actually. It's like, we talked about that rate of flow between different monies, and the money that flows, that's sold less frequently will be the one that appreciates in terms of the monies that are sold more frequently.
Yep.
Right? Okay, so that's all you're doing is you're selling dollars more frequently by borrowing and spending them into existence to buy Bitcoin that you never sell. So you're lowering the frequency of Bitcoin selling rate and increasing the frequency of dollars selling rate.
Yeah, okay.
You're monetizing Bitcoin and demonetizing dollars. It's a speculative attack.
Gotcha.
Pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not damn. It's just fucking, it's the way money works. It's like choose for yourself. But anyway, so yeah, maybe I should shut up in the Trojan horse, but everyone's going to figure it out. It's not that complicated.
But the problem with the United States is that they have to defend the dollar to the death.
But okay, I want to push back on that though, because I think this is a matter of technological necessity, right? There was a point where the medieval church adopted the printing press. They didn't have a choice, right? The book production game was over. That, copying them by hand and controlling all the knowledge, that game was over.
Before that, you had the Inquisition, though. They would burn people at the
After
stake.
that, you had the Inquisition.
After the printing press?
Yes, after the printing
You're
press.
talking about the Reformation. I'm talking about the Inquisition was before that.
Okay, well, I'll have to check my history
Reformation is
then.
after. Yeah.
Okay.
Was part of that. Yeah, was part of the printing
When
press.
was the Inquisition? What year?
Before the 1400s, I think it was.
Okay, well, that would be before then. This
Yeah.
is like 1500s.
Right.
So I don't know how that enters into this, but is it not technological necessity? It's not that the Fed's going to be like, oh, well, let's buy Bitcoin because we like it. They're going to be like, well, what if we don't?
We're nowhere close to that.
The
though.
calculus, well, are we?
You have to ride it to the bitter end.
I mean,
that's what's giving them the power.
It's dangerous when you talk in exponents, though, because we can't say how close we are.
That's true.
How close can we say we are to a US dollar hyperinflation? Another one of those things you're not supposed to talk about, but it's like every fiat
Could
currency
happen in
hyperinflates.
hours.
It could happen in hours.
Yes.
Could happen in decades. Could happen in years. Could happen in hours. You don't know.
I agree. Yeah.
So what did Henry Ford say? If I asked people what they wanted, they would have told me faster horses. This is not fucking an opinion game. Like, oh, we're going to buy Bitcoin. Maybe if we like it, I don't know. We'll decide. We're the ones in power. It's like, no, your shit's burning to the ground.
Yep.
Like you can move some of that purchasing power of your business model that's being destroyed into the next viable monetary network for the next 1,000 years or not. You know, it's the adoption of gunpowder. You adopt it or you die.
Yep.
It's not a matter of, let's, choose. It is an existential
to do it.
decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would just say that we're not anywhere close to that is what I'm thinking in the context of, and this is another issue that I jumped on and I was completely out there alone. You know, the meme of the knives coming at you. Like, I know it's not important, but we all look at follower count and that is like that's a metric that shows sentiment. You say something, you lose a bunch of followers, you just piss people off. I lost 10% of my follower count it was a 3-day period when I started on the strategic Bitcoin reserve as proposed by Cynthia Lummis is complete and utter bullshit. And here's why. And immediately back then, I think this was, I forget, before the election, the outrage was why do you hate the United States and why do you hate Bitcoin? People are dumber than cows. Like the ignorance is just absolutely astonishing. They don't listen to what you're saying at all. And I was saying that, yes, a strategic Bitcoin reserve makes sense for every single, the only one that matters is your own, by the way, but it makes sense for every single individual and entity in the world, except for the issue of the global reserve currency. The United States cannot do this and they won't do it. They can't tip their hand that Bitcoin is better money. When have you ever seen a counterfeiter that can print as much money as they want and it's accepted, they haven't been caught, they can do as much as they want, ever stop and think, I should start backing this with gold by counterfeit bills? They don't do that. Their money is accepted. That's
Here's where I push back because it ultimately, first of all, the United States is a front organization.
okay.
It's not controlled by the people. We're not controlled through politicians. We're not controlled through democratic process.
Okay.
We're controlled by the shareholders of central banks. When those shareholders have accumulated enough of a Bitcoin position, and you can bet your ass they are. We had Chris Sullivan on the show. A lot of people have talked about these Wall Street insiders that talk about big money guys, ancient money guys that have been accumulating Bitcoin specifically since 2017. Of course they have, right? They're in the money printing business. They have infinite dividends. Why would they not buy Bitcoin, the fastest growing asset in human history? When their position they've accumulated enough of a position, well, the incentives flip you. They flip your orientation towards it. So I agree with you to an extent. It's like, yes, the United States has the most to lose and would be the last to adopt and all of these things. But we also have this tradition of decentralization is what got the United States this far. There's a lot of smart money in the United States. There's a lot of innovation that's occurred in the United States because we've had strong private property, good rule of law, decentralized governance, broadly speaking. And so we might be the first ones to come to that intellectually, even those people in the position of power. And then you would see institutions be very favorable towards Bitcoin all of a sudden. And we're probably at the beginning stages of that.
It feels like it to me. I feel like we're more there than the beginning of the and then they fight you stage.
Exactly.